What's going on, YouTube? It's the Motivational Gamer here, back in here with another one. This is going to be a video about the 20 emerging technologies that will change the world. Before we get started, I want to say shout out to Americano. He's the creator of this video. Also, we're on the road to 1K. You know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get started.
The future's here, and it's about to start getting insane. Technological development in recent years has been pretty crazy. Just think about what a smartphone can do now compared to one of those huge bricks from the 80s. Or even how far we've come since playing Snake on our Nokias back in the early 2000s. But it's not just smartphones that are changing. New tech is going to completely change our lives in ways you can hardly imagine. From the new brand of virtual glasses to the satellite launcher that changes everything. Here's 20 emerging technologies that will change our world. Number 20. Mojo Vision's prototypes.
That's crazy already.
Invisible computing is what Mojo Vision is all about. The founders of the company hail from places like Apple, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, so it's a pretty big venture. They want to make us less dependent on screens. Instead of taking out your phone to see why it vibrated in the middle of a conversation, you merely have to look to the corner of your eye to activate an interface that'll tell you in a split second what some troll on Twitter just commented on your profile about. Awesome. I can't wait. But I might have to.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't, honestly, with technology being the way it is and how fast it's moving, you know, and chat GPT and all that stuff, AI stuff, I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. It just seems a little too invasive for me. But comment down below what you guys think about that.
Because it's actually not easy to make smart contact lenses. Alphabet's subsidiary Verily had to refocus its smart lens program after running into some major problems. You need the right sensors and the right sizes, enough power to make everything work, a display, and an image sensor. These sensors include things like custom wireless radios and motion sensors for tracking the eyes and the stabilizing of the image. If you wear the lens and look straight ahead, you won't see anything that'll alter your vision. But if you look in any corner, icons like a calendar, the weather, notifications, music playback, and more could appear. So, would you want to wear your phone screen on your eyes? Let us know in the comments. We're actually really curious about this one. Spin launch. An American company has tried out a way to send satellites into space that uses a high-speed spinning machine instead of conventional rockets. The machine, which runs on kinetic energy, is meant to make satellite launches much cheaper and use...
I don't know what to make of this, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out. Something's telling me that it's just not going to work. Like, this doesn't look like it's going to work out. Like, this... If this works out, I'm going to be very surprised. That's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Way less fuel. Spin launch is located in California, and that's where they made the system. A test launch happened recently at a private space launch complex in the western state of New Mexico called Spaceport America. The company said that payloads from several groups, including the American Space Agency NASA, were used in the tests. Spin Launch said in a statement that all of the test payloads were flown and recovered successfully. Didn't say anything about what the payloads were, though. Oh, what's that? You want to know what I would fire into space using kinetic energy? How about those Twitter trolls from earlier? Anyway, the suborbital accelerator from Spin Launch was a success in the tests. It's a 33-meter steel structure with a spinning arm that's powered by electricity. Inside the accelerator is a satellite. The fast turning of the system creates kinetic energy that's meant to spin the satellite faster than 5 times the speed of sound. The suborbital accelerator is made to send the satellite into an orbit close to Earth, about 2,000 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. Spin Launch wants to keep adding to its technology and equipment so it can send things into even higher orbits. Something about this just kind of blows my mind.
So
Number 18.
I mean, if you're saying that you're just going to use it to launch satellites, I guess it's not a bad idea. Because I just can't see how it'd be useful for much else. To a degree, it sounds like something that like a kid would have put together. And I'm not trying to like knock their intellectual genius, but it just seemed like, I don't know, not for me.
Graphene and graphene oxide. Graphene is a hexagonal lattice of carbon atoms that are only 1 atom thick. That's like really, really, really thin. Graphene is the building block of graphite, which is used in things like pencil tips, but it's also a very interesting substance on its own. It has a lot of other amazing properties that have earned it the name the wonder material more than one time. At 1 atom thick, graphene is the thinnest material that we know of. It's also very strong, about 200 times stronger than steel. Graphene is also a great conductor of both heat and electricity, and it can absorb light in really interesting ways. It's a material that could honestly change the world because it could be used in almost any industry. Graphene has also made its way into consumer electronics. For example, Huawei's top-of-the-line smartphones use graphene film cooling technology to deal with heat. Ford's another well-known company that uses graphene. In its 2019 F-150 and Mustang cars, Ford used graphene-reinforced foam to cover noisy parts. When graphene is mixed with foam, Ford says that the parts are 17% quieter, 20% stronger, and 30% more resistant to heat, which is cool, unless you like your Mustang nice and loud, I guess. Number 17. GPS-3. Since 1993, the U.S. Air Force has allowed the rest of the world to use its Global Positioning System, better known as GPS. Since then, this technology has become a part of our daily lives. It's in our phones, our cars, and even our watches. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that the US keeps putting money into developing the technology for both civilian and military use, and that money is about to pay off big time with the latest development. GPS-3 is already in the process of being put to use. It already has 2 satellites in orbit, and 8 more are in various stages of development. Here's what you can expect when the next generation of GPS is fully operational in 2023. The GPS-2 system that we have now works well, but GPS-3 is going to be a whole lot better. The next version of GPS should be 3 times more accurate than the current version. This means that the accuracy of the current GPS technology, which is about 5 to 10 meters, will drop to just 1 to 3 meters. And the signal's going to be stronger, so it'll be able to get through annoying interference, and all kinds of positioning and tracking will become insanely accurate. Now, if I can just figure out where I left my car.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. That seems a little much.
Keys. Number 16. Smart floating farms. Both Karma and Courage, the cows, are very special cows. They can see the whole harbor of Rotterdam, go to the bathroom on a literal poop deck, and walk that gangplank to pasture. They and 32 other cows from the Meuse-Rhine-Issel region of the Netherlands live on the world's first floating dairy farm. Every day, cows eat potato peels and grass clippings and then let out more than 5,700 pounds of dung, which is picked up by a robot that looks like a Roomba and dumped down a shaft to a deck below. There, the poop is turned into fertilizer for the grass on soccer fields and in parks. About 5 gallons of milk are taken from each cow by another robot. I'm glad to hear the poop robot isn't the milking robot too. The milk is put in bottles or made into yogurt and trucked to go to grocery stores. Experts say that big floating farms would be too expensive and would need too many resources to really be viable. But the inventor hopes that seeing cows grazing on a boat will make...
The whole time I've been looking at this invention, I've been thinking, like, what is the purpose for this? Like, what? Why would you want to have floating farms? They still haven't explained a viable reason yet. I'm just like, no. Like, what's the purpose? It seems like it's going to be, like, it sounded like the guy was getting to the fact that it's going to be more expensive to do that than it would to have them on regular land. So I can't see.
Make people think of new ways to grow food in the future. To feed the world's 9.8 billion people in 2050, humans will have to make 56% more food. So we're gonna need to put a lot of cows floating on a lot of bodies of water out there to feed all those hungry mouths. Number 15. Edge computing. Edge
Okay,
computing
that
is a
sounds
new way
interesting.
of thinking about computers that involves a number of networks and devices that are on or near the user. Edge is about the processing data closer to where it's actually being created. This lets data be processed at higher speeds and larger amounts, which leads to better results that can be acted on in real time. It's got some advantages that just aren't found in traditional models, where all the computing power is kept in one place at a data center. Self-driving cars, robots that operate by themselves, smart equipment data, and
I wonder if this is what they're using for like cloud gaming or like the servers that they use for anything cloud related. I wonder if this is the same thing that they're talking about.
automated retail are all examples of edge computing. At the edge, the most sensitive data is processed and the most important systems are powered. These places need solutions that have low latency and they don't need to connect to a network. What's so exciting about edge technology is that it has the potential to change businesses in every industry and function, from interacting with customers and marketing to production and back office operations. Number 14, self-healing concrete. A brand new type of concrete is now a reality, and it's a concrete that amazingly can just fix itself. It works like the way that wounds on the body heal themselves by secreting some kind of special substance. To make self-healing concrete, certain materials like fibers or capsules that contain adhesive liquids are added to the concrete mix. When the crack happens, the fibers or capsules will break, releasing the liquid inside, which will fix the crack right away. Self-healing concrete, on the other hand, is still in the research phase, though. It's still a long way from being used in the concrete business. Because regular concrete doesn't have a very high tensile strength, it often cracks. And these cracks make concrete less durable because they make it easy for liquids and gases that could contain harmful substances to move through the concrete. When micro cracks get bigger and reach the reinforcement, they can damage not just the concrete but also the steel bars that hold it all together. So it's important to keep the cracks from getting too big and to fix them as soon as possible. So basically, cracks in concrete that can fix themselves would make structures last longer and make the material not just more durable, but also more sustainable. And that's a good thing. I don't know if you've seen any of our videos that talk about like trash piles in the ocean, but we need some more sustainable in our lives. Number 13, hydrogen fuel cell. Now we're going to take a look at hydrogen fuel cells. The chemical energy of hydrogen is used by a hydrogen fuel cell to generate electricity. It's a clean source of energy that only makes electricity, heat, and water as byproducts. And fuel cells can have many uses, from transportation to emergency backup power. They can power systems as big as a power plant or as small as a laptop. Hydrogen fuel cells are better than traditional combustion-based technologies because they're much more efficient and they put out less pollution. Since hydrogen fuel cells only give off water, they don't put any carbon dioxide or other harmful gases into the air. And because they have fewer moving parts than combustion technologies, fuel cells are also quiet when they're in use. Today, there's several ways to make hydrogen fuel. For example, light is used to make hydrogen in processes that are powered by the sun. Electrolysis is a process that can be used to separate water into oxygen and hydrogen. An electrolyzer is a device that uses electricity to do the opposite of what a fuel cell does. Instead of using the energy from a hydrogen molecule like a fuel cell does, an electrolyzer makes hydrogen from water molecules. So, in plain terms, all you need is plenty of water and you got fuel for everybody. Number 12, the man-made stars changing the sky. Out of the 6,000 stars that can be seen with the naked eye from Earth, there's a few that are easy to spot and have special meaning. Sailors have used the Polaris or North Star to help them find their way for thousands of years because it seems to stay in the same place in the northern hemisphere. As our reliance on space technology grows, hundreds of new satellites are launched every year, making the sky more and more crowded. Even though most of us will only see them briefly as they pass over our heads, they are already giving astronomers trouble as they look out into the universe. Russian startup Start Rocket has said that it wants to send up to 300 small satellites with retractable reflective sails into low Earth orbit. Once they get there, they can be put together like pixels on a screen to make company logos look like star-like constellations as the sun shines on them. It would mean that for about 6 minutes every night, we'd look up and see the first constellations that were branded for business. I don't know how I feel about that. An astrophysicist at the University of Cambridge says that capitalism has reached stratospheric.
That just sounds stupid, and it sounds like it'd just be a bunch of junk in the sky. To be honest, I don't. No, that doesn't sound. No.
Kites. She's nailed it there. Gina Halabi went on to say, I'm 100% against this space pollution and commodification of the night sky. And Gina, I agree with you 100%. The last thing I want to see is a Starbuck glowing constellation over my head every night. Number 11.
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna stop it right here. You guys, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell so you can be notified the next time that I stream or upload. Road to 1K subscribers. Please guys, tap in the comments. Let me know what I could have done better, what your comments are on the video. Any type of criticism is better than none. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.